Today we're talking about the NU2U dome, arch, and smoke baffle. My biggest issue with the dome ovens and pizza ovens in general has been heat up times. I'm impatient and want them to get up to heat faster, especially in between pizzas as well. So I really like the NU2U doors, and I've also really liked the Gozney arch. I use this all the time to get the pizza oven up to temp and stay up to temp. The downfall is when you have it on, you lose a lot of space on the sides. This opening is about 16 inches, and this cuts it down to about a little over 12. So you're limited to a 12-inch pizza once you have the arch on. NU2U developed an arch that goes on and attaches, and this arch solves that problem. It heats it up, keeps the heat in, allows you to use your bigger peels and still have this attached. I do want to preface that this video is sponsored by NU2U, but this product, the NU2U arch, I actually worked with them designing, testing, and getting it ready to production. Because of how much I did love the arch and do love the arch, the owners of NU2U and I had a conversation about how great it would be if we could keep that heat but still use a normal size peel. So props to NU2U for coming up with this product. I'd be endorsing it even if this weren't a sponsored video. How does the arch help? Let's talk about heat up times, recovery times, heat distribution, and more. Okay, so now let's talk heat up times for when we have the arch in place versus without. So you can see on the graph here, blue is with the arch, red is without. We hit 850 degrees within 40 minutes on the dome, just in general, 28 minutes with the arch. And then 950 degrees, 68 minutes normally, 40 minutes with the arch. 1,000 degrees, we get close but never really hit with the dome, just standard. With the arch, we're there in 46 minutes. Having this thing on is gonna cut your heat up time down quite a bit. It's gonna cut your heat up time down quite a bit. Now let's talk heat distribution. This is a test I like to do to see how the heat is distributed throughout the oven. So I do a test where I heat it up, we cook a pizza for 1.5 minutes on full throttle, we don't turn it, pull it out, and take a look. Here you can see, this is the dome all by itself. Granted, I realized with this test, I don't think I let it heat up as long as I should have. But you can see the heat is coming from the left, right where this burner is, and then it's pretty equal throughout. I mean, it rounds off to the other side, but we're not storing a lot of heat in that back right area. With the arch on, I think it got a little hotter than my previous test. That's why in this picture you'll see there's way more burning going on. I've cooked quite a few pizzas in this with the arch, and they don't burn really any easier than without, because I do usually launch and then turn it down a little. But in this picture here, you'll see it got burnt all the way around, but you're seeing that heat get trapped all around. So I feel like it's a little bit better of a heat distribution with the arch there. It's keeping more of that heat up top. I feel like the toppings and cheese tend to hold that heat a little more as well. Next is the recovery test. What we do is we heat up the oven, let it sit for a half hour, 40 minutes, and when it hits 850 and it's been there for a bit, we launch a pizza, cook it for 1.5 minutes, remove the pizza, temp it, and then we time how long it takes to get back up to 850. So with the dome just by itself, we're looking at 1 minute and 10 seconds. With the arch, it's 45 seconds. Now I can tell you from experience, that might not seem like a big difference, but if you're cooking multiple pizzas in a row, I wish I had the data for this, but I know when you do them back to back, just normal, that number takes longer and longer to reheat. Where with the arch, that's when it really starts to make a difference, as it doesn't take as long to get back up. Another thing I've noticed with the arch when I cook pizzas in here is I've noticed the crust tends to get leoparding a little bit better than without. And this is all just theory. I don't know if it's because more heat is being retained up top, but you can see here how great of a leoparding I'm getting on this crust, which I've cooked a lot of pizzas before and I'm not the best at getting leoparding, But with this arch, I've gotten leoparding far more frequently. The arch also comes with a 5-inch by 18-inch flue when you buy the arch. As per Gozney's recommendation with their arch, you're supposed to use the flue. I didn't know that. I haven't been doing that. I just kind of throw the flue on there, but I think on their website it actually says to use the flue with it. When I tested, it actually slowed down heat up times. I usually just use it when I'm using wood. So maybe something to look into, but just a disclaimer, it does come with both. Okay, now I'm gonna walk you through how easy it is to put the arch on. I've noticed for myself, I just keep the arch on. I'm not taking it on and off each time. I just leave it on. I don't see a reason to be pulling it on and off every time. But there's this piece here that you slide in, and it's in here from the back. Then you have this front piece. You've got a bolt that you're going to push through. Little slot there. Okay, so then you put this bolt in, push it through the hole on the back piece. Then there'll be a washer and a lock washer and a wing nut. You just place all those on. I just kind of slightly tighten it until I get it all the way on, both sides. So the nice thing is with this back piece that you saw is it puts it at the right height, and then you just put the bolts through and it gets it nice and level. The thing I love about NU2U products is they use really nice stainless steel, food grade stainless steel. This stuff holds up. It's not gonna fall apart. It's not gonna warp under heat. I've seen a lot of products on Etsy and other places where they use really thin metal where I would worry they'd start to bend. So that's it for the arch portion of this video. Again, this is one of my favorite products. I would highly recommend it if you're gonna be cooking a lot of pizzas, which I do. I cook pizzas a lot and I love having that heat retention. But now let's move on to the smoke baffle. This is a product NU2U came up with that you can put on your oven. So it's got magnets that will hold it in place. Just snaps right on. Hopefully that's centered. It snaps right on. And what this product does is it helps prevent black soot from building up all along the top. So in theory, you should be able to cook with wood. Throw this on first. And when you're done, you just take it off and you're gonna have a nice clean oven. There is some felt installed along here if you're worried about it scratching. I've put this on and off several times and haven't had any scratching yet. So I did a test, and I've done this before with the Gozney flue. So we took an amount of wood in 2 batches and put them in here without the smoke baffle and let it run for the whole course. We burned 1 batch and then throughout added the 2nd batch till it was all done burning. And you can see after that, there was a ton of black soot that formed on the oven. So we did that same test and I weighed the wood, so it's the exact same amount. With the smoke baffle, we had the test running. I got some video footage where you can see the smoke coming up and out away from the oven and up so that it's not sitting there sticking to the actual oven. It's diverting it away. We did the whole test, let it run, pulled off the smoke baffle, and as you can see, there's virtually no smoke left. So this right here, the smoke baffle, is a great product to be able to put on, take off, and avoid getting all that black soot and having to clean it every time you cook with wood. If you guys have any questions on either of these products, please ask in the description. I'll try and answer as many as I can. I'll throw a link in the description below where you can check out this product on NU2U, either their website, Amazon. I'll get the links, put them there for you. Otherwise, that's it for today, and thanks for stopping by.